It's been about a year that I've had this motorcycle, as well it's been about a year since I've started regularly posting as a motovlogger. In that time, I've went to memorials, I've went to the Forgotten Angels campout, I've been on numerous rides and had a lot of really cool experiences that I haven't really been able to have. Like having my first vacation after turning 30, like it's been a really good year for me since I've gotten the motorcycle and started. And thank you to everyone that's been a part of this. But I think what I'd kind of like to give is kind of my thoughts on the Softail Standard. After spending a year with this motorcycle, I've definitely found some things that I like and dislike, some things that I'd change, but overall it's been a fantastic bike. But before I get into that, if you see my phone screen and you see it on its quad lock mount, you will see today is one of the Shaylisi Twitch live streams. If you follow my channel, you should be following Shade Tree, Brap Star, Shaylisi. Every Tuesday and Thursday around 7 p.m. Shaylisi does a live stream on Twitch. It's definitely worth it. Give it a peek. Anyway, I think I'm going to start with some things that I dislike about the motorcycle first. Some things that, like, after the rose-colored glasses and me finally having another bike wore off, what were some of the first things I did? And I'm going to omit, you know, throwing pipes on, because that's, like, required when you buy a Harley, right? Is to throw pipes on it and make everyone hate you. Some things initially that I did not like about the bike is I did not like the vibrations. It's a Harley, it's kind of what you get for the most part. I haven't ridden anything other than this Harley, the Street 500 in the motorcycle course, and a 72 shovel head. So I don't exactly have the best like group of motorcycles to compare for vibration's sake. So I'm gonna leave that one up to, like, if I bought something more expensive, I probably wouldn't be dealing with it. But I like the vibrations. Adding the Vans grips helped a lot, I will say that. I still need to deal with the vibrations in the foot pegs that go to my feet, but like, it is what it is. The seat. At first, I didn't really mind the seat, but after spending more and more time on the bike, I really did not like the factory seat on this thing. Granted, the Softail Standard is the cheapest way to get into a big twin Harley. So you're gonna go without a lot of things. Like, the most equivalent bike to this is the Street Bob, right? Which has the 114 that's blacked out. It has a USB port. You can get it with a back seat. And it's got the same seat, but like, you get a little extra, right? At the time of purchase, this bike MSRP'd for like $13,500, which is cheap as far as a Harley is concerned. But you definitely lose a few things, and a comfortable seat, whatever. The factory headlight is another thing that I do not like on this bike. I'm still running the factory headlight because I haven't really found an option that I want yet. And I tend to not really like doing a whole ton of riding at night. So, for now, it's fine. I did switch the corner markers running lights for some units from Custom Dynamics, the Pro Beam Halo switchback turn signals. They're very bright. If you see a turn signal, you look at the Route 2 sign, you can see it start to light up while I'm all the way back here, and there's still a good bit of sunlight out. It definitely aids in visibility from other drivers whenever you're using your signals, or the running lights are nice and bright. The tail lights, the same deal. The red halos are super bright LEDs. Definitely a much needed upgrade. However, the one thing I really miss about the factory lights is there would be like an orange glow on all the chrome in here at night. It looked killer. Yeah, so with the vibrations and the slight ergos, and also like, this is just kind of a downfall of a bike with no fairings, is you get a lot of wind buffeting. But again, it's just from, I'm used to sport bikes. All I've had before this is sport bikes. So that's not really a fault of the motorcycle. There's things to remedy that. Now, before I move on to some of the things that I really enjoy about this motorcycle, let's talk about some of the things that I've did, right? And what I've had before to kind of give you an idea of the perspective that I'm coming from. Anyone who knows me and has known me for a long time, or maybe watched some of my older videos, knows that I started on a 2013 Kawasaki Ninja 300. It's a little bike. I then traded that bike in for a 2012 Yamaha R1. Very poor move on my part. I'm alive, thankfully, but I spent more time learning to control that motorcycle than learning fundamental skills of riding. So like at the end of that season, I wound up getting rid of that bike because I had fallen on some really shit times, and I got the bike that I kept for the longest, my 2004 Kawasaki Ninja ZX6R. So I've spent most of my time on sport bikes. Most of my experience in riding style is based around sport bikes, as well as knowledge. So like, I'm coming from the perspective of a sport bike rider getting their first Harley. So if there are any other sport bike riders out there considering, you know, a new or newish Harley, this might be good information for you. Now, first impressions when I got the motorcycle and I first sat on it is, it did not feel as heavy as the bike was. The bike weighs like 650-ish pounds with a well-balanced low center of gravity. And it leans very, very effortlessly like this bike gets over. It's easy to flick to left and right with transition. It's easy to really settle this bike into a corner. It handles well for what it is. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's the cream of the crop, that's the best handling and fastest machine out there or anything like that, because that's not the case. But out of the box, what you get is pretty solid. One thing I was not used to when I got on the bike is torque. It's instant torque. I took the course right before I walked out of the dealership with this motorcycle. So I spent a couple days on the Street 500, got used to that bike, ripped that bike around, good to go. I got on this one, I let out the clutch, it just started going. Just torque for days. Was not used to it. It took me a little bit of time to kind of feel the bike out, get used to it. But now that I'm used to it, I can say pretty confidently that the bike is nimble for what it is. So some things that I've done with the motorcycle: there's a CC Rider step-up seat, as well as a Viking Bags iron-borne sissy bar. There is an S&S mini teardrop air cleaner, a set of Vance & Hines short shots. There's the Custom Dynamics Pro Beam lights that I've already mentioned. There's the Vans grips. There is the Killer Customs nose cowl. And the tail tidy from Lowbrow Customs. So the bike is pretty stock. I would argue that it's a stock motorcycle. Nothing crazy done to it. It's all reversible. I consider that stock. Anywho, raising the seat up a little bit with a step-up style seat definitely made me much more comfortable in cornering with the motorcycle, handling being a little bit more aggressive, because it gives you kind of the feel of a sport bike seat, and also it holds you in better than the factory seat. You need pipes. Like, the grips helped out a lot, because the factory Harley grips are a little slippery, especially as it started to get a little wet outside. These ones are like the gum sole of a Vans sneaker, and I love these grips, and they're going on just about everything. Yeah, so that's what's done to the motorcycle, nothing crazy. What I really like about the motorcycle is, one, it handles. Like I said, it's a nimble motorcycle for what it is. If you are coming to a Harley from a sport bike, I think this is a great option. It has a reasonable power band. It's not super heavy. It's not super, like, unpredictable. The power's there when you need it, and it's not too much. I would argue better tires, but factory tires are almost never good. It's a 107 cubic inch motor. That's like 1,750-ish cubic centimeters. And there's not a lot on this bike. So, like, it goes for what it is. There's an enormous aftermarket. Damn near anything you can think of. You can make the bikes more club style, like mine is. You can make them a little bit like baby fat boys with the Softail slims. The Softail line, there's so many bikes built off of that same frame that you can just build whatever you want. The Milwaukee 8s, they make good power. If you decide that you want to make power out of one, it will take power. Now, I don't think the Milwaukee 8 sounds as good as the twin cam, but you only have to buy one cam. And your local Harley dealer can put your cam in for you if you'd really like. But overall, I think the bike is a fantastic option for anyone really looking to step into the cruiser game. Now, I've seen a lot of really low mileage examples of the Softail standard around. It's got a nice bobber appearance. There's a whole huge aftermarket for the thing. And they can be had for screaming deals if you look hard enough. If you get the slightly newer ones like the 22 and up, you get cast wheels instead of the spoked wheels if you are kind of afraid of getting tubes and flats and stuff like that. But overall, I think the Softail standard is a good motorcycle. But a lot of it does come down to who you are as a person. But I think that's going to do it for this video. Just a quick little rip. I haven't been able to get out in a while because it's been so gross out here lately. I hope you guys have an awesome night, and I will see you next time.